Jenna, age 10, and her brother Jonathan, age 6, were turned over to the Children's Aid Society after being evicted from their apartment in the Five Points district of New York City. Jenna and Jonathan were found living alone in a small apartment. Jenna claimed that their parents had left for work several days earlier and had not returned. It was determined that Jenna and Jonathan would be placed out in hopes of finding a substitute home. They would be traveling with a group of children on a train to Hamilton County, Indiana. The following is a record of their orphan train experience from Jenna's perspective.
There are 27 of us riding together, including 2 adults, to make sure we behave. There are a couple of babies and kids of all ages. They haven't told us where we're going yet, just that we're going west to find a new home. I miss Mom and Dad, and Jonathan still cries every night for them. I cry too, but I try to not let him see. They told us to forget Mom and Dad, that they are gone and never coming back. A lot of kids are excited to ride the train. Jonathan hasn't taken his eyes away from the window. We've never been outside of the city before. The open space seems to go on forever. I wonder where we are going. I wonder what the people will be like. I hope they are nice. They mentioned farms, but I don't know anything about farming. I'm a little nervous about what will happen to us. It can't be worse than 5 Points. It'd be nice to be able to eat and live in a safe place. We arrived at our destination today. No one has told us where we are, and I can't read any of the signs. Some adults met us at the train station and took us to clean up and change our clothes. Then, they took all 25 of us kids to the platform for what they called examination. The examination was kind of scary. Several men examined Jonathan's teeth and checked his muscles. He cried. Some of the other boys were singing and dancing, trying to get the attention of the adults. One of the boys was even doing flips. I just tried to keep to myself and stay near Jonathan. One woman introduced herself to me. Mrs. Baker was her name. I was really nervous at first, but she seemed nice and asked me a lot of questions about the kind of chores I could do. She also asked if I would like to learn to read and write. I never thought of doing school before. Very sad. I've just arrived at my new home with Mrs. Baker. The Bakers decided to adopt me. It all happened so fast. After our talk, she and Mr. Baker filled out the paperwork and they took me home. Jonathan was chosen by one of the men who examined him. I'm so worried about him. Mrs. Baker spoke with the man, I can't remember his name, and promised that I would be able to visit Jonathan. She said I was very lucky because some brothers and sisters who were adopted never saw each other ever again. I now live on a small farm with the Bakers and their 2 sons. It is too strange to think of them as brothers, at least for now. Mrs. Baker told me that I would be helping her out with the household chores. I will also be attending school and church. I've never been to either one. I'm going to miss Jonathan so much. I hope his family treats him well. I can't wait for the first visit. I'm a little worried about getting along with my new family. Mrs. Baker is nice, but Mr. Baker is really quiet. I don't know what he thinks of me. I'm also nervous about getting along with my new brothers.
Years later, Jenna became a teacher, and Jonathan was able to purchase his own farm. They both have their own families and live near each other. Turns out that Jonathan was fostered and eventually adopted by a local farming family. Jonathan's upbringing was strict, but he was well taken care of. It turns out that Jenna fit in quickly with her family. Mrs. Baker was kind and encouraging. Mr. Baker was quiet, but he quickly made Jenna feel part of the family. Jenna was a quick study in the classroom. Jenna and Jonathan both expressed gratitude for the orphan train. Although it was very difficult to be separated, they both knew that their prospects in New York's 5 Points probably meant poverty or death. They were also very thankful for their adoptive parents. They realized that not all adoptive families were as supportive as theirs.